Welcome back to Knoxville, Iowa, and Knoxville Raceway for the 7th running of the Lucas Oil Knoxville Late Model Nationals. It's time for the A-Main. $40,000 is up for grabs. We've been talking about it all night long. Of course, we've been racing for 2 days. Now we've been racing this evening. The C, the B, finally the show is here.
The track's fast. A very bad fast racetrack. It was fast on Thursday night. It was fast on Friday night. Kudos to the track prep crew. Another great job here with this Black Iowa Gumbo. This big racetrack is very fast tonight. It's going to take a lot to win this race. You know, it's going to come down to tires. These guys may go soft. They may go hard. They're going to cut them up. It's really going to be a tire game, a motor game. We talked about all the horsepower, but the guys off the front row are going to be tough to beat. Scott Bloomquist, Billy Moyer. How about Jimmy Mars winning the B-Main? He knows how to pass cars. He almost ran third here last year, had some trouble in the A-Main, but I think it's going to be fun to watch the Iceman work his way to the front.
And Tony Bachhoven, another guy we have to talk about, is quite possibly the hottest guy in dirt late models right now. He's coming off a back-to-back wins here this weekend alone.
Well, indeed he is, Ken. When I talked to Billy earlier, he said on Thursday night the car was good and they came out and won, but he thought he had more. So they came back out, made some adjustments on Friday, and won again. For the last hour, he's been working on every corner of this race car to make sure it's right, because he wants to get that first Knoxville Nationals win. Tonight's his best chance from the front row. He thinks he can get it done. Let's go to Dave.
Thanks, Tony. Scott Bloomquist spent the first preliminary night here earning this pole position, 488 points out of a possible 500. He then spent Friday night, the second preliminary night, as nothing but a tune-up for this 100-lapper tonight, trying to match the conditions of what he thinks this racetrack will be in the later critical stages of this race. Was he right? We are about to find out. No doubt, one of the great racers of all time, alongside another great racer of all time, Rob and Ken, lots to talk about in this 100-lapper.
Yeah, and you know what, guys? We had a chance to talk to some of the drivers as well about coming to this unique event. It is set up and run a little bit different than everything else they run all year long. This is what they had to say.
Tough deal here, because every time you go on the racetrack, it's that invert. You know, if you qualify good, you got to start 10th in the heat. And it puts a lot on, you know, the driver and the crew. You know, you just got to keep your nose clean and pick your way through there and get yourself in a good spot for Saturday night.
When you're leading and you're running hard, if a guy's faster than you, he's usually going to drive by you, and that's what's unique and so great about this place. I think everybody that comes here says the same thing, and they're hoping, well, they know that it's going to probably be the biggest event in our sport before it's all over with, because the racing's so good.
Any big race you look at, if one guy wins it once, it's one thing, but if you can go back and repeat, that, to me, that makes you more of a name in the sport.
We've been in the show, the big show, you know, every year we've been here, I think, you know, since the inception of the Late Model National. So it's just, I'm not sure what it is. It's just something that we've really taken to the racetrack, and just really comfortable on it.
It would mean a lot to us, for sure. I can't say that it wouldn't. We, like I said, this is one that we haven't won. I think we have definitely set our goals to try to win this one. I like everything about this place. It's a big, major paying race, and you know, all the other races throughout my career that you know, I feel like are the crown jewel of what we do. You know, I've been able to win them all, you know, that we've tried to get, you know, and this one here, I hope we can just get it before we hang our helmet up.
Well, he's got a solid shot at that one here tonight.
Billy Moyer has run 57 events this year, 23 wins, average finish of about 6th.
He has been incredible all season long, $143,000 just in 2 races. Pretty impressive to say the least. We'll find out how he does here. This is your Lucas Oil Products A-Main. Scott Bloomquist and Billy Moyer on row 1. Earl Pearson Jr. and Berkey on row 2. Tim McCready and Steve Francis in row 3.
Austin Hubbard, first time here inside of row number 4 alongside Darrell Lanigan. You see Brady Smith will start 10th. Josh Richards, Kid Rocket, who has had some good runs here in the past, alongside Bub McCool in row 6.
Kelly Bowen would love to pick up his first win here alongside the Wild Man. Jimmy Owens a little deeper, and Brian Shirley. Chad Simpson alongside the Thriller.
You go back to Scott James inside of row number 10. Denny Eckridge making the show. Of course, Shannon Babb knows how to pass cars. Always fun to watch. We'll start inside row number 11 and 21st.
Jimmy Mars a little deeper as we get to our B-Main advancees. Brad Neat, Jack Sullivan, Jason Rowan, Rob Moss, and Chris Simpson.
Ryan Newman, who has a quick qualifying effort here to USAC Silver Crown car at the Knoxville Raceway, will start scratch all alone in row 16. A long way for Mr. Newman to get to the front.
Flashing the lights on at the suites. That's a tradition here at Knoxville Raceway. So the Dirt Late Model is ready to kick it off here for the 7th running of the Lucas Oil Knoxville Dirt Late Model Nationals. Blomqvist brings them around. Some 900 horsepower screams to life. Great shot there through turns 1 and 2.
Scott Blomqvist down the back straightaway, out in front, trying the low line in turns 3 and 4. There is Billy Moyer. Won both of the preliminary night features, runs in second. Third right now is Earl Pearson Jr.
And by the way, the officials here happy with the track after the B main. They did not touch it.
On board courtesy of Canada with your leader, Scott Blomqvist. Slides up a little high off turn number 4. And already the caution comes out here on lap number 2. And you can keep an eye on your favorite driver up on top with the ticker rolling. Courtesy of E3 is the caution out for Jason Utter out of Columbus Junction, Iowa, their car in 31.
Fair amount of damage to the right side of that one as well. The nose jacked up just a bit. See if we can find out what went wrong. Looks like he, oh man, spun it out all by himself. Great job of some of the back guys trying to stay out of him as well.
Utter making his first career A main here at the Knoxville Dirt Late Model Nationals, former crew chief for Brian Burkhofer.
On board with Earl Pearson Jr., courtesy of Lucas Oil Products, of course, a 4-time Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion. Also won 4 consecutive races this season with that series, setting a series record.
Back underway, you see the top 2 down low. Tim McCready there with Brian Burkhofer. Earl Pearson Jr. trying to go 3 wide off turn 2. And big trouble now in turn 2. A handful of cars coming to a stop as Jimmy Mars makes his way through. Simpson will get through there as well. So 4 cars come to a stop. The 41 of Brad Neat, the 15 of Steve Francis, Jason Round in the 98, and the Thriller, Darren Miller, in the 32D.
It was a tough break for some of these guys. Hopefully they can all continue on. Fair amount of damage there done to one of them, but Brad Neat looks like he's okay.
Take a look at it one more time, and you can see they were trying to go 4 wide. Off turn 2, that is, I believe Steve Francis gets turned around.
Oh yeah, right rear damage. Heavy damage here to Steve Francis' car. And then just kind of collects the other guys. No place to go. Man, these things are wide. It's difficult to go 3 wide. 4 wide out here is all but impossible. Well, hopefully Francis can get that one back out here. Hopefully it's just cosmetic damage as the fans are packed in here. I got to tell you, 1 year ago we had an incredible race, and that was the winner, Scott Blomqvist. We're going to take you back to 2009. Tony Stewart was out here, started deep. They had a last-minute engine change. He would start 27th. The front of the pack had some great racing, though, including Shannon Babb, who looked like he might pick up his first Nationals win.
Babb took the lead from Rick Eckert on lap number 1. He would lead from lap 2 through 65 as Scott Blomqvist off of turn 4 would pick up the lead on lap 66 and not look back. Bloomer would go on to win his 2nd career Knoxville Dirt Late Model Nationals A main, take home the big check, and right now sits out front.
Absolutely, your Geico Power Sports top 5 as Blomqvist leading the pack. Welcome back to the 7th annual Lucas Oil Knoxville Dirt Late Model Nationals. Scott Blomqvist leading everybody back around into the stripe one more time as they fan out in the back.
Nice shot through turns 1 and 2 as Earl Pearson Jr. goes to the top shelf. Don't normally see him go to the cushion.
Blomqvist, man, what a great restart there. Really stretches out the lead nicely. Tinkering down there with that curve down on the bottom. And of course, the 21 car there. Billy Moyer has just been deadly all weekend long. We've talked about it, and honestly can't talk about it enough. Tim McCready, of course, the guy that came out here and won this event in 2008. Always tough. Talked to him a little bit earlier. He said he feels like he has a good car. He doesn't know if he has a good enough car to win. He said the only way he can really hang with the big guys is to pound that thing off of the cushion. He said it's hard on the tires. So we'll find out if, in fact, he's back just a little bit more here tonight for this 100-lapper.
Darrell Lanigan there in the 29. Behind him, Matt Miller in the 7. That's the battle for the 5th spot.
And tire management is key here as we watch Miller. Almost looked like he got into the fence, and I will tell you there's some right side damage there. Gets back on the track down there in the Berkey, but jumped up over that cushion and got very close to the fence, if not into it.
Brian Burkhofer there in the 15B. There is Kid Rocket, Josh Richards in the 1. They are nose to tail with Matt Miller through turns 3 and 4.
And Kid Rocket has been so close to winning this race a couple times as well.
We talked about Tim McCready. When he won this race a few years ago, he went to the top shelf, drove it in deep, did not lift around Josh Richards on the final corner of the final lap to pick up the win. Brady Smith in the 2 there. There is Jimmy Owens in the 20 and Bub McCool in the 57J. Nice new wrap for the driver out of Mississippi.
Ready for Halloween. Bub McCool has been following the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series a fair amount this season. Has had some good results from time to time. Earned his first A feature start here at Knoxville. Unfortunately, it will come to an end early. Your Geico Power Sports Top 5 still has Scott Bloomquist out front. Scott Bloomquist leads them back here for the Delaware double file restart at the 7th annual Lucas Oil Knoxville Dirt Late Model Nationals. McCready up high in the back, tries to get a run. And a little rubbing back in there.
That's a 15 to Steve Francis. Looks like getting into the 1 there of Rob Moss back out front. Earl Pearson Jr. gets around Billy Moyer to take over second. Can we stop Mr. Smooth, who has won both of the preliminary night feature events? Can anyone stop him? 23 wins so far this year.
And you talk about those 23 wins as we go on board with him. 2 of those wins being the Dream and the World for a combined total of $143,000 with just those 2 races ago. Taking a look at Darrell Lanigan, of course, the former World of Outlaws champ, and Tim McCready on the outside, former champ here. I mean, this thing is littered with the best of the best.
Yeah, right now they are running 1st and 3rd in outlaw points here this season, Lanigan and McCready, so they race against each other each and every week. Up front, 2 guys that chase Lucas Oil Dirt Late Model points. There's your point leader, Scott Bloomquist, and of course, Earl Pearson Jr. 3rd in the points. And Brian Burkhofer comes to a stop in turn 2. The left rear, well, it's gone. Looks like that wheel is maybe a little bent as well.
Don't see any damage to the actual sheet metal of the car. Kind of a strange situation there that he would lose the left rear this early on. But nonetheless, it is down. That will be cause for him to come in, bring out the caution flag as well. Get him a new left rear tire and get him back out here. It'll put him in the back of the pack, of course. Be a long night for him. Good news is, if you're going to have a flat tire early on in the race, for 100 lapper is the time to have it.
And there you can see it going away, and all these drivers behind him doing a great job to get around Brian Burkhofer, who finished 6th on Friday night, ran 6th last year, of course, won this event back in 2004. Let's go down to Tony.
Well, as you can see, the left rear tire is down on Brian Burkhofer's car number 15B. Crew's going to work on it now. We'll see if they can get it out before the track goes back to green. Right now they're having some trouble getting the wheel cover off as the wheel itself is damaged on the bottom.
Yeah, huge damage there. As you know, you were talking about it before, some damage to that left rear, and it looks like they'll also change your right rear while they're at it. So he'll head back out to try to work his way into that Geico Power Sports Top 5 with some new rear rubber. Stay with us.